Bartender, please. I need a shot and I'm begging on my knees. The way to fight is one battle at a time. You may have won today, but I'll see you at the finish line. All is fair in love and war. You pull no brakes when you're riding to the core. All is fair in
Welcome to the Midwest as we start round 4 of the Die Hard Grand National Series. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett, here in the booth with you for ESPN, the Esports Broadcasting Network. And joining me in the booth this week is a man that missed last week but is back this time round, Mr. Tony Trapasso. Tony, you missed a barn burner last week. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the same this week.
Oh, Sammy boy, the pipes are roaring. Welcome to the Irish Hills of Michigan, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute barn burner, as I keep saying. Here at Michigan, they always put a good show in here. We got 19 drivers set to take the green here, and after the controversy of last week's race, could we be seeing more controversy this week? We've got about 2.5 minutes left in practice, and then we really kick things off with qualifying. But for now, it is just last few minutes of people just turning those laps. And Tony, I'm expecting an absolute, I don't know. It's just going to be mental tonight.
Well, Michigan always leads to awesome competition because you can normally run 2 and 3 wide here in just about everything. But I'm looking at some of these guys right now, and cars are about as stable as my ex-girlfriend.
Absolutely, as we're seeing a few people around track. There is Nathan Rue. Rue involved in a bit of controversy last week after being involved in a wreck. Unfortunately, reversed down the track and into the path of Seth Schultz, and that was one of the contributing factors that caused Seth to pretty much lose the race to Corey Brown last week. And I'm gonna be thinking, after the speed we saw at Daytona from Nathan Rue, he seems to be more suited to the faster tracks than he is to the slower ones. Am I right in that suggestion there, Tony?
He's definitely showing himself to be a speedway specialist. And for those of you that are new to racing in general, speedways are generally anything 1.5 miles and up. And Nathan Rue is really starting to show himself, although he's not as high on the board as I would expect to see him in practice times right now.
Yeah, it's usually in qualifying he starts coming to the fore, so we'll...
oh, no, there he is. Second quick, so...
There you go. So no surprise
still,
there.
You know, half a tenth off of what Sweeting's been able to put up. But, you know, still almost 3/10 to the good over third place Al Pajari.
Yeah, Alan Pajari, one of the surprise packages of the season, running a different kind of paint scheme here tonight. And we were talking about it during the pre-broadcast. He's running a big gut paint scheme this week. I'm not really sure.
I'm going to go look that up right now.
Yeah, I would. But that's your top 10 on the left-hand side of the screen there. Chuck Sweeting currently fastest right now. It's going to be fastest in practice because we are just ticking down to the qualifying session now, and that is where we will start really heating things up for this race now. As we're going to wait for the first driver to make their way out on track. They've only got 5 minutes to get 2 laps in, so they need to be quick when they do this. Seth Schultz will be the first one out on track, so let's see how he can handle it in the qualifying session. Remember, they have single car qualifying. They only have, I think they have 3 sets of tires this week, so going to be interesting to see.
Normally it tells me. Where the hell does it tell me? Tire limit. In the race, 4.
Ah, so they've got 1 more than they usually do, so... And
I need it here at Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan has a tendency to eat the tires, so yeah. So, here comes... Seth Schultz across the line to start his qualifying run here now. And I've got a feeling that this track is going to be a bit of a car breaker, as well as Schultz getting the back end trying to step away from him through turns 1 and 2. And I heard the engine as he was going through the tri-oval very much under a bit of stress there, Tony.
Very much so, and it's not uncommon to really load it up coming through the tri-oval because you're carrying so much speed there. Because you're a little bit tighter coming off of 2 than you are coming off of 4. So you carry a ton more speed off of 4 and going to the tri-oval. So it really loads the motor up when you hit that banking coming across the stripe.
Seth Schultz puts down the benchmark there for his first lap. John Schultz goes into second place in the tide, number 17. Let's take a look at Nathan Rue, who's currently out on track right now. And he didn't just have a bad race last week. He had a horrible qualifying as well. Hit the wall during his qualifying run. And here he comes across the line. Let's see what he can put down for this one. And it will put him up to second place. So 53 1,000ths of a second behind Seth Schultz. Not too shabby there for Rue.
It was actually pretty impressive, to be honest with you. And I just found this out. Big Gut for Men is a weight loss program.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's going to be interesting. Let's find...
Lap 2 all wrong. Goes. We're talking about Alan Pajari going 5th quick, and then just unfortunately tried to really uncork one on the second lap and wasn't able to capitalize on it. But how about that front row so far?
Yeah.
Over 3/10 to the good over Brian Bennett in 3rd.
Absolutely. Going to be good to see those two fire it off when we go to green. Well, we're looking at the points leader right now. Kevin Turcott making his way through 1 and 2. Not had any race wins, but those 2 top 5s that he's got this season, Tony, has really fired him to the top here in this early running of the season.
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about the driver with most laps completed. And that's really, as you and I have found out in the past in other leagues that we've both run in, that's what it takes. You've got to complete the laps if you want to have a shot at the championship.
Yeah, and so here comes Turcott across the line. That'll be a 41.519. That's going to put him down in P10, so not exactly lighting up the time and scoring sheets, but there's one man that probably will here tonight as Chuck Sweeting is out on the track now.
I'm watching Turcott's second lap, and he is all sorts of loose coming through 1 and 2, and he's aborting that second lap. So, on to Sweeting. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do in that jersey's number 54.
Yeah, he was fastest in open practice, so he should be pretty good here. He's got 40 seconds to get around the track, though. Should be okay.
He's going to get one in. He's definitely not going to get his second one.
No, and Randall Folks to the top of the board out of nowhere. Where did that come from?
Wow.
Yeah. 40.488 for the number 51. Great time there. As here comes Chuck Sweeting. What can he put down as the qualifying 10 seconds to go down across the line for Chuck Sweeting. And that's a 40.7. Yeah, 4th quick for Chuck Sweeting. So unfortunate for him as we've got Tim Marlowe coming down to the line. I don't think he's got time and he hasn't. Wow. So
Marlowe had a good run going too. I had him purple going onto the backstretch.
Yeah, so that is the end of qualifying right now. So Randall Folks coming out of nowhere and stealing that pole position. Very well done for him. So let's go to the grid for this one as we got one Mr. Well, when it shows up, there we go. As we've got one Mr. Randall Folks on the pole here for this one. 40.488, the fastest lap around here. He's going to be joined on the front row. Front row by Seth Schultz. Nathan Rue and Chuck Sweeting will make up row 2 with Brian Bennett and Gil Gork in row 3. Just got to do something here. Row 4 will be Brian Bennett, no, Jeremy Johnson and that's right, I left my
row 4 is going to go to Jeremy Johnson and Al Pajari, with row 5 is going to see Brian Tate and Brad Spittle. Richard Jennings and Kevin Turcott going to make up row number 6, with row 7 going to let's see, Gwen Havens and
John Schultz.
Row
8.
Where are we? Row 8, James Collins and Marcus Wilkie. Row 9 is going to see Mark Igabrod and Corey Brown, and Row 10 is going to see Tim Marlowe, Bruce Pearsons, with Russ Caney starting shotgun on the field in 21st.
And apologies for that there. I forgot to turn the sound off, the in-game chatter off when I did my race last night, so had to fix that. So they're all lined up on the grid. We're almost ready to go here at Michigan, and I will admit, I am looking forward to this one. I always look forward to a nice race at Michigan. Probably one of my favourite ovals on the service. I don't know about you there, Tony.
As far as speedways go, yeah, I love Michigan. As far as all-time favorite tracks, I kind of got to go with Irwindale.
Yeah, Irwindale's a special one. I mean, everybody feels the same way about Irwindale. I mean, all that campaigning they did to keep the track open when they tried to close it last year.
Well, the thing is, it's one of the only tracks on the server that it has 4 very distinct layouts. Granted, one of them's a fantasy layout, but it's also the only figure 8 track in the server. Nim, if you're watching, can we get on that, bud?
Yeah.
I know there's more figure 8s out there.
You get weed sport. What more do you want?
Well, yeah, no, we are getting weed sport, so I'm not going to really complain too much about that, but, you know.
Famous location where Dirt Week happens, so, you know.
Well, no, that's Oswego.
Oh, well, yeah.
There is a race during Dirt Week at Weedsport, but anyways, field work his way through the Freeport complex here at the Michigan International Speedway. Pace truck getting ready to make that lazy left turn onto pit road. Randall Falk going to have the button. Only thing left to say is Grandpa, it's time to pop the Viagra because it's time to get it on in the Irish Hills.
Yeah, pace car off. Randall Folks in the number 51 Exxon machine getting ready to get things going here. Green flag in the air. We are racing here at Michigan International Speedway, and Folks off to a decent start. Seth Schultz going to go to the bottom line to fend off Nathan Rue. That's going to leave Chuck Sweeting on the outside. Brian Bennett down there as well. Gil Gork in P6 right there, just ahead of Jeremy Johnston coming out of turn 2.
You got to feel for Seth Schultz right now. He is the lone Ford in a sea of Chevys. Oh, there it is. Sweeting getting the wall coming off of turn 2. Almost gets into Bennett. And that's going to let the top 3 get away from him a little bit as Rue looks to the inside of Schultz coming out of 4.
Yeah, and we're looking at Randall Folks as well. How is he going to hold these two off? I mean, that was a once-in-a-lifetime lap for Randall Folks, and he managed to pull it off out of nowhere. Does he have the race pace to stay ahead? At the moment, he's doing pretty well to stay ahead of Rue and Schultz while they're fighting amongst each other. Schultz trying to hold on to that car through turns 1 and 2, though. That back end does not look like it's very planted around there, Tony.
Absolutely not. And the biggest thing is, too, with the smaller spoiler that these cars run, it's very easy to take the air off of it. As you saw way back in the day, you get right to the inside left quarter panel of somebody, right next to their left bumper corner, and it's very easy to take all the air out that spoiler as we're under caution.
Yeah, caution's out, and it's oh no, the points leader is in trouble. That'll be Kevin Turcotte. Let's take a look and see what happened here to the points leader, as it was the 75 of Jeremy Johnson got underneath him and just unfortunately caught the left rear of his that number 84 machine. So no serious damage on the 84. He's going to get a penalty for going through a closed pit road, though. I suppose that's the least of his worries at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he's at the back of the field anyway, so a pace truck going flying through 1 and 2. That was interesting.
Well, they've got to really work on the driving physics of the pace truck, because it was one thing that Byron and I were talking about last night. We were at Homestead, Miami, and every time the pace truck went to go down pit road to restart the race, it would inevitably just crack the right bedside on the big water barrels that sit at the end of the pit wall.
I thought I could hear the pace truck crashing every time it went back into pit road. I wasn't sure what that noise was, but
oh yeah, no, it was slamming the right bedside into the water barrels.
Oh wow!
And just it would kick the back end around, and I was watching from the blimp view, going, "Really?"
Mind you, I was always too far back to see the pace truck go into pit road, so you know, I did make my way into the top 10 at least once last night, but
until you got ARCA brakes, you had a good run going.
Yeah, I tried. Mind you, that was my first race, like, for a whole season, so, you know. Obviously, I took season 10 out to broadcast it, and obviously I'm back on track this week, thanks to you guys taking over, but, yeah,
imagine what it's going to look like the first time I'm able to get back out on track.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, the last time I was actually driving a car was the 2019 Rolex 24 at Daytona,
which we finished third. So you were a very good contributor to that. I'm not sure if you'll see the same thing I'm seeing, but the big screens are a bit pixelated on my screen. I'm not sure if you're seeing the same thing.
I don't even see the big screens.
Coming out of turn 4, going through 3 and 4, there's big screens on the outside of turn 4, I think it is, and they're looking very dodgy, so to speak. I'm not sure if it's just me, but...
Oh, I've got them turned off, sorry. Because I have that internet that uses the 4-letter word that everyone hates in the iRacing servers.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And I have to have my graphics turned down as low as I can get away with.
Mark Eigelbrod in pit road at the moment, so got to keep an eye on that situation there. He usually makes a lot of early pit stops, but needs to be careful. And remember, they're on limited tyres in this series, so they need to look after those tyres and change them only when possible. I think we're going to see a lot of fuel stops, not a lot of tyre stops here tonight, Tony.
That's a safe bet. You know, they've got 4 sets, so you start the race with 1, then you've got 3 in reserve. I mean, if you break the race up, we're doing 100 laps, so sometime around lap 25-ish, sometime around lap 50-ish, and sometime around lap 75-ish, and then you're at the finish.
Yeah, and you don't want to push them too hard. You don't want to end up with the same situation that Paul Zota had 2 weeks ago at Rockingham when he blew out the left rear tyre as the pace truck peels off in towards pit road. We're ready to go once again. Single file restart, remember. So here we go. Randall Folk's going to lead them down as the green flag is in the air. He's actually gone before the green flag, but never mind. We are racing once again. Randall Folk's getting a big jump on the field there. Schultz a bit asleep. Well, actually, Rue was more asleep at the switch than Schultz was, and now has Brian Bennett all over his rear end.
Well, if you look behind him, that battle for 5th is really starting to heat up with Galt, Tate, and Johnson. Those guys.
Speidel involved in that in the 90, the Red Baron.
And don't forget Speidel, because I mean those guys are getting it right now. Still too wide.
Yeah, as we're still focused on this battle. Sorry.
I was going to say, here comes the 11 at Jennings into that battle as well.
Yeah, Jennings was looking for a better race here tonight. Has had some bad luck so far this season. Looking to get a decent result out of this thing. He's currently running in P9 inside the top 10, so not doing too badly. Randall Folk's already starting to set sail. Actually, starting to gap Chef Schultz. But just as I say that, Schultz responds and almost immediately starts closing that gap on the 51.
Well, that's the good news about this older car is you're not dealing with dirty air. You're not as dependent on aero trickery to get the car to go around the track. But if you can get into somebody's draft, it'll really pull you along. And that's really what we're seeing right now with Schultz starting to reel Falk in Falk got too far out in front, and don't be surprised if we see a slingshot within the next lap or two from either Schultz or Rue, because Rue is in the draft as well.
Yeah, Rue's right there. Brian Bennett's falling back into the clutches of Gil Gork. Actually, no. Bennett is actually 2 full seconds ahead of Gil Gork, who's actually managed to get away from the pack. And that pack we were talking about before, it's got slightly bigger now, Tony.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So we've got Speidel, we've got Tate, we've got Brown. Brown up the track from 19th on the grid. So big moves for him. He won last week at Richmond. There's Alan Pajari just ahead of Schultz, Jennings, Sweeting, Johnston up there as well. Gwyn Havens in the Miller High Life machine, and James Collins just behind them as well. Then you go back a bit further, there's Bruce Pearson in the number 20 machine, Tim Marlowe, Kevin Turco was involved in that early caution there, Russell Caney, Mark Iger brought a bit further back, and then Marcus Wilkie at the very back, about 2 seconds back off Iger brought. But we go back to the lead battle now, and Schultz right on the tail of the 51 as they come through 3 and 4, Tony.
Schultz right in the draft, just stalking Falk right now. Falk gotta be having one eye on the track and one eye in his rearview mirror as he's trying to figure out where he needs to go to make sure that Seth Schultz stays behind him.
Absolutely. As Rue is right there as well. They've put a nice gap on Brian Bennett, who's in a bit of no man's land right now, all by himself. Corey Brown has managed to get to the front of that huge pack of cars behind him. He's trying to reel in Gil Gork, and Brown's used to these kind of runs. He usually starts near the back of the field and makes his way forward as the race goes on. Really paid off for him last week when he won the race, but really capitalized on a unfortunate incident with Seth Schultz. He managed to stay up there with the lead pack, but unfortunately his engine blew with about 5 or 6 to go. So Corey Brown picking up the win there. But tonight, this is a different race, different track. We're here for 100 laps here at Michigan, and at the moment, Randall Falk's doing ever so well to hold on to that lead now.
Falk is doing what he's got to do, and hats off to him and his team. They've nailed the setup on that Q1. Now, I'm not sure how it's showing up for you, but I'm showing plain brown wrapper on that car.
On the 51? No, he's got an Exxon.
Oh, there it is.
Exxon sponsorship.
Thanks, Trading Paints. You're a pal. But yeah, no, that Exxon 51 really doing what he can. Rowdy Burns would be proud.
Absolute. Schultz just biding his time behind him now. Going to try and get a run on him on the outside there as they come down the what used to be the 3M backstretch, and now it's not got any 3M stickers on it. It's got 3M boards on the outside, but nothing else. But we can't call it the 3M backstretch anymore. That's a shame. Anyway.
Unfortunately, no.
As we're going to go back to Brian Tate here in a huge battle with Chuck Sweeting right now. Sweeting on fresh tyres, I believe. No, he's on fresh fuel, actually, not tyres. But Chuck Sweeting's managed to make his way back up to P8 now, right on the back of the 18 in that Stars and Stripes machine. And you can hear the tyres going through 1 and 2, absolutely screaming for help right now. And that's what I mean when I say Michigan is tough on the tyres. They will not last long around here.
Well, if you really, as Sweeting looks to the inside of Tate, gives him plenty of room and makes the pass look just that easy. If you go back up to the front of the field and you take a look, I'm not sure if we've got the high-speed drones here or not this week, but if you look at how Falk is going through the corner and how Schultz and Rue are going through the corner, Schultz has got to be burning the right rear tire off that Kodiak number 27.
Now we're going on a far chase cam right now, and you can see you're going to get a good example of how they're going through the corners there. And the problem is with Schultz's car is that the back end of that car seems to be a lot more free than it is on Falk's car.
It does, and I'm thinking within the next couple of, either Falk is on the loose side of neutral, Schultz is on the neutral side of loose. if that makes any sense to anybody other than me.
It kind of makes sense to me, but
you know, if you look at the like a sliding scale where you've got tight on one far end and loose on the other far end, and right in the middle is neutral. Falk is just a tick to the loose side of neutral. Schultz is almost in between neutral and loose.
Schultz still can't get past Falks, even after going on the apron there.
I don't think he's trying to pass him yet.
Yeah, Rue is just sitting back there relaxing as well, not really doing anything else. This is pretty much turned into a 3-car battle at the moment. I mean, obviously, we're going to get the great equalizer, the caution, at some point in this race. I mean,
it's bound to happen.
Yeah, wow, I've just noticed.
You can get your hate mail coming, folks, at Sam Cooper Bennett, Isle of Cork. Sorry. Port of Cork, Ireland. PO Box LU812, because he just jinxed the field.
Yeah. As I've just noticed, Corey Brown's up to P5 now, so he's finally made his first appearance into the top 5. And not really doing much to close the gap between himself and Brian Bennett. Bennett just really doing well to relax by himself. Got a podium last week along with Chuck Sweeting. So those guys know how to get it done up there. As we're looking at Seth Schultz now, taking a small look to the inside of Folks. But like you said, not really attacking him right now.
No, he's just pretty much riding. And I think the three of those guys kind of have an understanding that they just want to get as far away from everyone else as they can. And last 15 or so laps, game on.
Yeah.
But, for right now, 3.6 at Stripe that time as Rue looks to the inside of Schultz, or at least just trying to get where Schultz isn't. As this 3-car dance continues to just impress. Meanwhile, battle for, looks like 10th?
10th between... Well,
12th, sorry. Battle for 12th heating up.
Yeah, big line of cars there.
Pajari and Marlowe.
We've got Johnston, Pajari, Marlowe, Jennings, Turcotte right there as well. James Collins is back there as well in the Pepsi. Oh, that is a lovely paint scheme on James Collins' car. I like that one. I'm a Pepsi guy, so I will appreciate a Pepsi paint scheme.
Yeah, the only problem is it's supposed to be yellow.
Yeah.
I said it.
Get your hate mail coming.
The Pepsi Challenger was yellow, my friends. Was that Marlowe looking to the inside of Jennings right now? No. Jennings looks Marlowe looking to the inside of Pajari.
Yeah. Marlowe and the Haviland number 28 looking to the inside of the big gut number 34 as Pajari very close to the wall. They're out of turn 4 as they come down through the tri-oval. Now Marlowe gets the clear, now can set his sights on Jeremy Johnson. Is Pajari going to try and cross him over? The answer is no. Marlowe clear and ahead now. His sights will be set on that 75 Valvoline machine. Haviland versus Valvoline, that's a new one.
Well then.
Yeah.
Let the games begin. Of course, we have a Pepsi car in the field, and we have a Coke car in the field. We have a Bud car in the field. We have a Miller car in the field. Why not Haviland versus Valvoline?
I mean, two of the biggest oil companies in America.
And we've got a change for the lead as Schultz at the stripe just edges out Fault and takes over this breakaway.
Yeah, finally gets the clear, but Folks looks like he wants it back now. Going to drag race towards turn 3. Is Folks going to dive it in there? The answer is yes. Does he have enough momentum? Schultz keeps it wound up on the high side. And they're going to be side by side coming out of turn 4. Rue's looking for a place to go as well. And give that one to Randall Folks at the line by a nose there, Tony.
2/1000th of a second That's about 4 coats of paint, ladies and gentlemen, at the speeds that these guys are traveling.
It's about a thin piece of paper almost. So it looks like Rue's
construction paper.
Yeah. Rue's giving Folks that push there that he needs. So Folks back out in front now, and here comes Rue to the inside of Schultz now, trying to capitalize on that push from Folks and make his way through, as well as these guys battling out. They've got a nice 5-second gap between themselves and Brian Bennett. So, like you said, Tony, they've given themselves enough space, and now they're free to battle it out between themselves.
Absolutely. Right now, hang on to her, son. That was a pucker moment as Rue almost got into Schultz going through 1 and 2, but Randall Falk playing both halves against the middle, trying to keep Rue and Schultz next to each other behind him, and that normally doesn't work too well in the long run.
Yeah, speaking of Brian Bennett, though, he's now got company in the shape of Corey Brown. Brown has managed to shave all that time off. And we are under caution, and it's going to be Kevin Turcotte again. And big problems for Turcotte this time. He managed to wreck into the inside, and he did hit something this time. Let's take a look and see. Smacked the outside wall midway down the backstretch, so you don't see that often. And trying to woe it down before the inside, before he got to the wall, but too little, too late, and he hits that inside safer barrier. So unfortunate there for Kevin Turcotte. His night just going from bad to worse here, Tony.
I'm not even really sure what happened there. You know, he had a hole between the 2 cars that were battling in front of him, and the car just turned right on him. That's not, and where it happened, it's not where the bump is coming off a 2, because there is a small bump coming off a 2 on the high side here at Michigan, but where his car reacted weird, I'm not sure why that happened unless he cut a tire down.
I mean, it stands a possibility. I don't think he took tires on that last pit stop, and like I keep saying, that Michigan is very tough on the tires, so it could be a possibility.
Go back and look, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, just as he was coming off of 2 and started to go down the back straightaway, he lost the right front tire. I mean, you could see it go down, the car hooks to the right, and he's along for the ride at that point.
Absolutely. So early problems for Turcotte. Meanwhile, we've got pit stops going on right now. Everybody taking tires now. They feel that this is the time to put a fresh set on, as Forks is going to win the race out of pit road. Corey Brown going to come out second ahead of Schultz, Rue, Bennett, then Gork, Sweeting. Mark Eigerbroad opted to stay out at this point. So clearly Eigerbroad knows something that we don't here, Tony. Or he just wants to
I'm thinking he's trying to just get a point for leading, or he was trying to. But if you go back to what we were talking about with the 4 sets available for the race, look at what lap they're on, Sam.
Yeah, lap 25. It works out well. It works out well.
Yeah.
So Eigerbroad going to lead them out of turn 4. Not sure if he's going to get the lap lead, if he's going to bring it down to pit road. And he's not, so he will get a lap lead. So he's going to persist with those old tyres. The only problem is he's going to be sitting duck when we go back to green.
Oh, absolutely. Look for him to possibly just get that bonus point for leading a lap, and then he's probably going to come to pit road this time. Actually, he's not going to get a chance to, as the lights are already out on the Chevy Silverado base truck.
Yeah, so we're going to get them going once again on lap 27 of 100 here. And I'm glad this is one of those leagues that count the caution laps, because I've seen other leagues with using these cars and they don't count the caution laps, which really makes things annoying. And I know it's the classic way of doing things, but it just makes it that much, I don't know, for me, boring? I don't know.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the time that we ran that 500-mile race at Martinsville in a different league where there was 24 cautions and we were playing the at-home drinking game.
That the one where you stopped talking about halfway through and just left it on its own?
No. That was the one where it was you, myself, and our buddy Joe in the booth, and we were talking about what's your favorite Formula One car of all time, and it had nothing to do with what was going on the track. We were just, trying to amuse ourselves at that point. It's kind of that's what when as a pace truck is in. So Igabrod has the button. And how about Corey Brown picking up a couple of spots on pit road there?
Yeah, I know. Big moves there for him. He's managed to jump both Schultz and Roux in that process. But we're going to look at Igabrod. How long can he hold on those older tyres? Everybody else, and literally everybody else behind him has taken new tyres. Not very long.
The answer is he held on through turn 1 and then lost it in turn 2.
He's about to learn it and lose.
He's just letting everybody know that, hey, guys, I got nothing for you. Go ahead. He just made the announcement in Sim. So
Igabrod,
he knows he made a mistake.
He made an oops. As he's already dropped back to P5, he's going to have Brian Bennett going to jump to his inside as well now. He's going to go back to the lead battle now. Randall Folks has managed to carve out a 6/10 of a second lead over Corey Brown. Brown not able to shake off Schultz or Roux at the moment, so if those four can get away, this might be a 4-car dance this time instead of a 3-car dance.
Well, we're about to find out. The question is, can Fault maintain? And it doesn't look like he is, because it looks like Brown is reeling him in, and yes, according to the deltas, he is.
Yeah, he's taken a 10th off him already as they come through the tri-oval. As expected, you give that one to Folks, but Brown is right there. He's taken another 10th off him in that stretch alone, so Brown is on the move again. Schultz into third, Roux and Bennett falling back again. He's over a second back already. Look at Chuck Sweeting back up to P6 already.
Yeah, Sweeting's got a good run going. Look for him to chip away at it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a factor at some point in this race. Maybe near the end.
Well, as he's flirting with disaster and just brushes that taper barrier coming off of turn number 4. You saw the car get a little bit unsettled there. But, he's definitely got a top 5 car tonight.
Problem is, so has Brian Bennett. He's been very fast and managed to get himself into a bit of no man's land. It looked like Nathan Roux was trying to put a move on Seth Schultz, and he will put a move in going into turn 3. Can he pull it off, though? Schultz has been very impressive on that outside line so far here tonight. Roux has the nose out in front as they come out of turn 4 down towards the tri-oval. And give that position to Nathan Roux at the line. It looks like he might just have the clear as well. And he does.
And he does.
So Roux up to third place now. Schultz starting to fall backwards now. Look at Corey Brown now in that Coca-Cola number 99. He's starting to really come up to the back of Randall Folks now. The winner from last week at Richmond. Not only good on the short tracks, but we've seen in the past here, Tony, he's very good when we speed things up a bit.
Yeah, he definitely had a heartbreaker, though, at the season opener at Daytona, so we really didn't get a chance to see what he could really do. With the wrong setup in the car for the race, unfortunately, and just the troubles compounded from there. But I think we're really seeing the real Corey Brown tonight here at Michigan.
Yeah, we saw him last week at Richmond. Definitely put a clinic on last week. And you know what? Corey Brown's paint scheme, I know I said I like the Pepsi one, but that Coca-Cola one is really growing on me. That dark red on the car, the dark metallic red, I like that.
It would have worked better if he would have made that white Coca-Cola swoosh stripe thing that he's got going across the rear quarter panels and the rear.
Bumper.
Thank you. I almost said tailgate because we do so many truck league. If you would have made that a matte white, it would have really popped the car a lot more.
Yeah. I don't know how he did it, but he tinted the windscreen, the windshield as well, so it looks to make it even more darker as they come down the backstretch again, looking him right on the tail of Randall Foulkes. Now takes a small peek to the inside, probably a bit too far back this time, but definitely going to be right there when they come out of turn 4. It looks like Foulkes starting to struggle a bit in that clean air on his own, as there comes Brown, almost followed him up into the wall there. That could have been a problem.
Yeah, that was almost a first you say it, then you do it in a moment.
A bit further back, Brian Bennett under pressure from Chuck Sweeting now. Sweeting looking to the outside, going through the tri-oval and into turn 1. Bit too far back at the moment, and right behind them, Gork and Schultz having a bit of a battle as well, with Brian Tate right there. They're not all bunched together like they were before. Gwyn Haven's having a better run this time round. He was an early retirement last week and is doing a bit better in the top 10 this time, just ahead of Jeremy Johnston and Tim Marlowe, who are battling between themselves. Haviland versus Valvoline once again as we go back to the lead battle. Here comes Corey Brown now to the inside of Randall Foulkes now, and this is the battle we've been waiting for. Down across the line. Can he get the job done into turns 1 and 2? Going to dive it down to the low line. Foulkes going to try and keep it wound up on the high side as they come out of turn 2. Brown has the nose out in front, and it looks like Brown's got it. Brown is your new leader.
Brown, your new leader, and that was a ballsy move to just move up as, no, I take that back. Falk cut him under as they go down the back straightaway into turn number 3, and here comes Rue and Schultz. Those two guys battling up front have allowed Rue and Schultz back into this battle, and that's not what they were hoping for.
Yeah. I apologise for some people that are finding the engine sounds a bit too loud on the broadcast. This is a request from the league owner as we've got problems for Corey Brown. Brown looked like he might have scraped the wall going through the trial over there, and that's lost him a lot of momentum there, Tony.
Well, he was doing more driving in his rearview mirror than he needed to, so he had an oops.
Yeah, and that's gifted the lead back to Randall Foulkes now, and Nathan Rue will be the newest challenger for the lead here as they come flying off in towards turn 3. Lap 36 now of 100 now. We're very quickly approaching halfway despite the 2 cautions we've had already. And obviously this being a 2-mile track, the cautions are only 3 laps, so very short here as Randall Foulkes will get a lap led once again. He's led the most laps here tonight. And these guys just got to stay in situ, it seems, for the time being, and try and expand that gap over Chuck Sweeting, who finally got around Brian Bennett in the end.
He got around Bennett at the same time that Brown was battling with Falk and flirting with the lead. But Sweeting is starting to pull Brown up towards this front pack. That is exactly what, that's exactly what Bennett needed, was Brown to help him.
Yeah, the gap between Brown and Sweeting is 3.2 seconds. Now going to be down to 3.1, so they've taken a tenth out of him already. But these guys battling in that top 4, they're all, like I said, stuck in situ right now, just in a bit of a train. That won't last long as here comes Rue, taking a look to the inside, not going to do anything drastic at the moment. Let's see what he can do in towards turn 3. Is he going to be close enough? I don't think he is.
Not quite yet. But, they were able to, bring Brown back into the frays. He tries it going into the tri-oval, down on the stripe, flirting with that apron, and he's going to pull alongside him as they haul off it in turn number 1.
And there goes Rue to the bottom of the track now. Here comes Schultz as well, trying to split the difference there through the middle, but not going to make it work as Rue will get the clear out of turn 2 and take over the lead. Another new leader here at Michigan. Schultz trying to look to the inside of Randall Foulkes as well. So Schultz trying to make a position change as well. Not going to really happen if Foulkes going to keep it wound up on the high side this time. Brown just sitting back and watching the action unfold in front of him as they're sitting in a bit of a diamond formation right now.
Yeah, just a little bit, as you got the three bow ties on the outside line and the lone blue oval flirting with the apron. And you got to wonder, are the Chevy boys going to actually work with that Ford, or are they going to try to hang them out to dry as soon as they can?
Only time will tell, as Rue going to lead them down the backstretch once again. Boggs still keeping it wound up on that high side there, and he's not giving an inch to Schultz, and he's going to dive it to the bottom there to fend him off there. So good move there by Randall Fox, just using his awareness there to stay ahead of Seth Schultz, and Schultz just going to have to regroup and try and find another way by the 51, but not going to happen right now, as he's got a pretty decent gap, and now Schultz opted for the outside line this time, and Fox fends him off almost immediately.
Absolutely. And if you're Corey Brown right now, you kind of got to be just thinking, okay, Sweeting not having the best night, Turcotte really not having the best night. If I just ride around here in fourth, I could make up a huge amount of points.
Yeah, and speaking of Kevin Turcotte, he's riding by himself at the back of the field. Got some pretty significant damage on the front of that number 84 machine, and has been the cause of both cautions here tonight so far. And unfortunately, just not having a good night here. One man that is having a good night here tonight is one Mr. Mark Eigerbroad. He did stay out on those old tyres. He's still out there on those old tyres. Still only just flirting outside the top 10. I think he's doing pretty well on those old tyres now.
He is. And I'm thinking what you might see out of him is, you know, you can get 45... almost 50 laps out of a tank of go-go juice here. Probably going to pit right around lap 45 to 50. Get some fresh tires. Go off sequence with everybody else and have that extra set. If there's a 10-lap shootout, you know, we know we're going to see late race cautions here. It's inevitable. If we get within a 25 to 10 to 25 lap shootout, he's got that extra fresh set in his pocket.
Yeah, he does. As Tim Marlowe now looking to the outside. Actually, no, that's Mark Eigerbroad getting around Tim Marlowe. So Eigerbroad back in the top 10 on those older tyres. So really putting them to good use right now. I think they might be into kind of like a second life right now. They've probably gone through a grading process. Now they're on their second life.
Well, the thing is, I mean, you figure that everybody else is already, 20 laps or so into their tire run. They've already worn all the goodie off of theirs. So, he hasn't gone in for fuel, so he's running lighter on fuel than everybody else. So, yeah, he's going to start picking off some spots slowly but surely here. Got about 3.5 seconds to try to make up to try to reel in John Schultz in the tied 17. But, the fact that he was able to dispatch Tim Marlowe in the 28 shows that he might know what he's doing on the long run.
Yeah, as he's still got Marlowe right behind him. Let's go back to the front of the field as we've seen a position change happen right here. We might see another one here as they come through the triangle then towards turn one. Randall Foulkes lost second place for a time being, but now he gets it back again. And Schultz is going to do a bit of a switch back there on the exit of turn 2, try and get the run towards turn 3.
When did Michigan become a short track or a short dirt track? Because that's exactly the type of moves that we see on Tuesday night, on the dirt. But these guys are making it work at almost 175 miles an hour on pavement.
I have no idea.
This is wild.
This is a good race so far.
Oh, absolutely. Respect given. These guys they're not beating and banging on each other, but they're racing each other hard but clean, and I love to see that.
We're looking at Brian Bennett now, who's managed to get his way back ahead of Chuck Sweeting now, as that battle for 5th place still rages on. Gil Gorka is about 2 seconds back from these two, so These two just going to battle between themselves for that last spot in the top 5. Meanwhile, Gil Gork is in a battle of his own with Brian Tate and John Schultz not too far away either. So, yeah, the little battles going on all over the place. Obviously, you've got that car battle for the lead, but it's just other little battles going on around the track, and that's what I like to see. There's lots of little fights going on everywhere else around the track as Nathan Rue leads the lead pack out of turn 2.
Ooh, almost contact between the 3-4 Pajari and Vic Jennings in the 11 as they come through the tri-oval. Those guys not happy with each other as they were beating and banging on each other.
Yeah, Bruce Pearson right behind them. This is the battle for the lower positions here for 16th, 17th and 18th, so it doesn't matter where you are in the track, you're still going to beat and battle and do what you can to try and advance yourself. I mean, I was doing that last night when I was battling my way through the field, but like Tony already said, I got absolutely arca braked, so that kind of stopped that run. Anyway.
Yeah, and the battle between Tate and Gulk heating up right now as well.
As Tate has got around Gork, and here comes Schultz as well. He's right behind him.
Absolutely. As, you know, these three guys, the battles they're having is really, it's unassuming. They're kind of playing the old slingshot draft game, which you saw way back in the day at places like Michigan and places like Daytona, where you would just get a run on a guy and just, you know, slingshot by him with the draft. You know, these guys are playing the game like it was meant to be played.
Yeah, as we're still looking at John Schultz there in that Tide number 17, paying homage to, I believe it was Darrell Waltrip that ran the Tide machine.
That was one of DW's paint schemes. There's actually a couple of them in the field. If you can tell me what the other one is, in either the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat, who will be tonight's winner of the trivia contest. Winner receives free paint scheme.
Oh, Schultz goes for the grass there on the tri-oval. That's not going to help him. Yeah, it's Corey Brown starting to lose ground on the top 3 here. I've just noticed.
He brushed the wall a couple laps ago. I was kind of keeping an eye on that, and
he's got some left side damage as well, I'm seeing. No, he's not. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, and we were under caution. Bruce Pearson got into it with Vic Jennings in the 11. And
let's take a look and see what happened here as they come towards turn 1. And oh, I don't know if it's because Jennings checked up or if Pearson just wasn't paying attention, but Pearson got into the left rear of Jennings and just spun him round.
Yeah, that was definitely a physics nightmare.
Yeah.
And all things racing, that is not in the field tonight, sir.
Western Auto, no, it's not. Let's run through the paint schemes we've got in the field here tonight. I'm going to put it on a rear chase and we're going to take a look at the paint schemes. We've got Randall Fawkes in the Exxon machine. We've got Nathan Rue in the Folgers machine. Seth Schultz in the Kodiak. Corey Brown in the Coca-Cola. Then we've got Brian Bennett in the Dale Senior Wrangler machine, so that's obviously not it. The Jerseys machine of Chuck Sweeting. Then we've got the when the camera decides to play ball. The Friedlander number 18 of Brian Tate. Then we got the Southern Comfort number 85 of Gil Gork. The Tide machine of John Schultz. We've already mentioned that one. That's one of DW's machines. Jeremy Johnson in the Valvoline number 75. And then you got, there's Alan Pajari in the Big Gut machine. Brad Speidel in the Red Baron. Victor Jennings in the Bud machine. Gwyn Havens in the Miller High Life. And, just as I went to Gwyn Havens, he overran his pit box. We've got the Lipton machine. I actually, you know what? I actually don't know this trivia question. So only you know the answer to that one. I don't. I only know the tied one.
And actually, if you want to get technical, I'll give points that yes, there's technically 3 in here, even though the color scheme is wrong on the third one. I'll still give credit if somebody names it.
Oh, the Pepsi one.
Okay, thanks, Sam. So we've got 2 of the 3. There you go.
Third? What's the third?
All Things
Budweiser.
Racing did get it. It is the Budweiser number 11, which DW ran when he was driving for Junior Johnson Racing.
And the Budweiser 11 being run by Mr. Victor Jennings, who was involved in that caution that just came out right there. Just ahead of him is the 23, Marcus Wilkie. And I've got to assume that is a normal custom paint scheme that he's running, because I've never seen that one before.
Hold on, I gotta find Wilkie. His paint scheme's not even showing up for me.
It's orange and black, no?
Hold on. Oh, yeah, no, that's the one that it's his daughter's business.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Sorry. I remember chatting in the live chat last week. Yeah. I think it was... No. Was it?
Yeah, that was his daughter's business.
I gotta say, my favorite paint scheme of all of them, though, has got to be the Red Baron. I like the Red Baron the machine. That's driven by Brad Speidel.
Only because you like bad pizza.
No, I'm thinking of First World War, you know, Red Baron, all that good. Because, you know, the Red Baron flew that plane with the 3 wings on it.
Now, do you know the Red Baron's real name?
I did, I just can't remember it right now. I can't fire up Google because it'll mess up the broadcast, so, you know. Yes, I need to install my new CPU, but I also need a new flipping motherboard.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah.
Amongst other things that I need. Like legs that work. Anyways, I'll picking up some spots on pit road on that one. Congratulations to the Hendrick Motorsports
green flag is
25. And
I wasn't
live.
Neither was I.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
We both made the mistake.
Yeah, that's kind of rare. Nathan Rue pulls the trigger. Fault going with him. Corey Brown trying to hang as he's battling right now with Schultz. Right in the slipstream. Everybody on fresh tires. I don't think anybody stayed out on that one.
Turcotte did, just to get a lap led, and then he went back into pit road.
Everybody's on fresh tires.
And we're over halfway into this race, and every single driver that's in this race is still on the lead lap. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Very impressive, as Bennett and Sweeting having a meeting of the minds coming off the floor. Tim Marlowe had a pucker moment as well. And
I apologise, I'm just having a bit of a stutter moment there. But anyway, yeah, Brian Bennett and Sweeting battling out for that 5th place once again. It's the same people as before. Nathan Rue and Randall Folks going for the inside there. Big dive there for the 51 and takes it away from Nathan Rue. That was a ballsy move.
bump away! Exxon 51, and like I said earlier, Rowdy Burns would be proud.
Yeah, he would. Schultz looking to the outside of Nathan Rue as well now as they make their way towards turn 1. We are on lap 56 of 100. Like I said, we are past halfway. All the drivers that started this race are still on the lead lap, so very impressive so far. But we've still got a lot of racing to go yet, as the top 4 now starting to pull away from Chuck Sweeting again, who's taken away that 5th spot from Brian Bennett. But behind them, there's a battle here going on for 7th place between Mark Eichelbroad, Russell Caney, and Brian Taters. Eichelbroad went down the track to defend from Caney. Caney losing that spot to Brian Tate now. Eichelbroad on the same kind of stint as everybody else now, with him taking fresh tyres that time around. Yeah,
that kind of got Eichelbroad back onto the pit cycle, and as their battle's really heating up behind them for 10th.
That's James Collins, Jeremy Johnson, and Gwyn Havens having a bit of a battle there with Alan Bajari right there. Brad Speidel in the mix as well. So Johnston cutting off the nose of Havens there as they make their way into 3. Looks like Russell Caney having a few problems there on that outside line in that 80.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, in big trouble as Bajari goes underneath him. Speidel won't be too far behind him either. And I know we got to focus on the lead battle to see how they're getting on, but these battles that are going on further back in the pack, these are just entertaining to watch because look how close they all are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, throw a blanket from, what was it, 8th? 9th? 15th? Throw a blanket over them.
Yeah. Or 16th if you include Gork now has just joined the back of that, so...
Oh, he just tagged on, so yeah.
That's just, it's just insane. The more I watch these cars, I'm not a fan of driving them, I will be the first to admit, but I love watching them. And I like the way, I really enjoy the way people drive them, and it's really entertaining to watch.
It's entertaining to watch people that know how to drive these things so proficiently. And that's the one thing that we're seeing here in this league, is these guys know what they're doing in these cars.
Yeah. As out of turn 2 they come. We've got Johnston leading that pack there with James Collins side by side with Gwyn Havens as they have a bit of a drag race towards turn 3. Looks like Havens might have the better speed going into turns 3 and 4, and it's beer, the world's most famous beer, one of the world's most famous beers next to one of the world's most favorite soft drinks. So, and it's the beer that wins. Okay.
Battle of the Beverage Wagons, I think is the phrase you're looking for.
That's the one. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Randall Fox still leading this thing as they fire off into turn 3. Nathan Rue still in second. Seth Schultz still right there with them as Corey Brown not too far back, and they're a good 2 seconds, almost 2 seconds ahead of Chuck Sweeting, who's managed to get away from Brian Bennett, who's now 1.3 back, and Mark Eigerbroad starting to reel in Bennett there now, Tony.
Bennett, I'm thinking Bennett set up for the short run, because he has done nothing but struggle as soon as we get past 10 laps on a set of tires.
Yeah, as he's running P6 right now, there is Eigerbroad in the background there with Brian Tate right behind him. Tater, they like to call him in the... Oh, as Jennings smacks the wall coming out of turn 2. I just saw that in the background. That's not going to help him.
Yeah, especially considering it looks like he's moved that rear axle over about 6 inches.
Yeah, his car, well, he's got to be thankful that he's got a similarly damaged car in Kevin Turcotte right behind him, but...
And one right in front of him, too.
Yeah,
with
Caney.
Russ Caney's car is looking a little worse for wear as well.
Not sure why Marcus Wilkie's staying behind them though, because he's got a clean car still, so... Oh no. Bruce Pearson back there, and we've got one that's retired now. John Schulte's called it a night now.
So the Tide Ride is... Has he?
He's still in the session, but he's 7 laps down now, so you got to think that he's called time on it.
I think he may have smacked the wall.
Ah.
Hard.
Well, that explains it then.
Because I heard somebody saying, "Sorry, John," and I was looking, I couldn't see where it had happened, and next thing you know, he's in pit lane. So,
well, we're gonna go back and find out what happened to him, because we're oh, and he spun it coming out of turn 4 and just decided to call it. So,
well, Russ Caney just smacked the turn 4 wall as Bruce Pearson gets under him. Caney not having the run he was hoping for tonight.
No, he's not, and he's had a tough start to the season as Ross Caney. As he now is the last car running on the track in P20, and he's got a flat tyre, Tony.
Aha!
Take a listen to that car, and you'll understand how I know he's got a flat tyre.
I'm looking at the flat tire right now.
Yeah, so he's going to have to bring that in as we go back to the lead battle here. Randall Folks still leading this thing with Nathan Rue in second. Corey Brown has got around Seth Schultz, so this is crucial. Schultz falling backwards now as we've got a closer battle for P5 now, as it looks like Brian Bennett has reeled Chuck Sweeting back in. Only problem is he's bringing Iger and Tate right with him as well, so we could have a four-car battle here for the last spot in the top 5. But going back to Russ Caney, big trouble for him in the becomes the first driver to have a blowout. Well, the second driver to have a blowout here tonight. And he goes a lap down for good measure.
Well, he'll get that back because he's now off cycle with everybody else. And we saw earlier that he can make it from here.
35 laps to go. I'm pretty sure you can, as we're looking at Nathan Rue right now, he's still trying to find a way by that 51, but we've seen already Randall Folks he's very proficient in defending his position and doing it cleanly as well, so it's not going to be easy to get around the 51 right now, or at all, for that matter.
Well, the thing is if you take a look at when he's made the move to try to get the lead back, I'm not sure if he's shown his hand too early or not with Folks and Rue, or with Rue and Schultz, and he's shown them what he's going to do.
Yeah. As they're starting to put a gap on Seth Schultz now. Schultz might be... and you were saying earlier, when those 3 Chevys were going to leave the Ford behind, I think this is where they start leaving them behind now.
They're trying to.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're going to be able to do it, because Schultz has a strong Ford. Probably the strongest Ford in the entire field, week in and week out.
Yeah, already has the race win under his belt. He won pretty convincingly at Rockingham after a late charge by Corey Brown turned out to be just that, just a late charge. He had no short run pace, but seems to have that figured out here in Michigan, but just can't seem to find a way past the 51 and the 25 as he sits there in P3 right now. As gonna get a big turn of speed out of turn 4. Just can't do anything with it though. I'm gonna take a quick peek to the inside, but still just in a bit of status.
Kick the router.
Okay, still in a bit of status quo there for Corey Brown. Let's go back to this battle between Bennett, Iger, and Tate now. Bennett actually managed to extend the lead out there to about 0.7 of a second again, but Tate's still right there as well. We're going to go back to Jeremy Johnston, who's still got a nice pack of cars behind him. That is Tim Marler, James Collins and Gwyn Haven, and Gil Gork, whose early turn of speed has kind of faded off a little bit. He's now back down in P13. Brad Speidel in a bit of no man's land with Alan Pajari back in P15. Marcus Wilkie in P16. There's Victor Jennings, who smacked the wall a few laps ago. Has got Kevin Turkey right behind him. There's Bruce Pearson. And Russell Caney is back out on track with a new set of tyres on him.
And Corey Brown waking that car up right now as he is currently slugging it out with Nathan Rue for the number 2 slot.
Yeah, you keep talking to yourself. I'll be right back.
Fair enough. Falk has got to be loving what he's seen in his rearview mirrors. He's got Brown and Rue right behind him. Brown giving it all he's got on the high side, and they're running clean, but they're running hard. As give the number 2 slot to Brown again. 20 thousandths of a second that time at the stripe. And they better be careful, because all this battling for second, A, it's going to wear their tires out a little bit quicker, and B, it's going to let Seth Schultz back into this battle as Brown and Rue just neither one giving an inch right now. Oh, there it goes. Corey Brown a little bit loose on the high side. I think he may have put the right rear tire into the marbles just a tick going through turn 3. That's going to let Nathan Rue get back underneath him as they drag race to the stripe. And Rue has the clear as they come across the stripe and going to take advantage of it going into turn number 1. So give that one to Rue one more time as they now set sail on trying to reel Randall Fulks in again. Fulks leading the most laps here tonight. Started from the point, had a hell of a qualifying run. The only one to go, sub 40.5, went 40.48. So hats off to the entire Exxon number 51 team as Rue and Brown finally getting that one sorted out as they are now starting to put some distance between themselves and Seth Schultz one more time.
Yeah, and Schultz falling back ever so slightly, just inching further back as the laps go on. He's about half a second back off the tail end of Corey Brown, but still, like it was before, they're about 4.5 seconds ahead of Chuck Sweeting. Now it's been the trend here tonight. That top 4 has got something a lot more different than the guys behind them because they're just able to sail away every time we get into a green flag run here.
I'm just checking right now to see who's in what chat rooms to see if maybe some guys are sharing different sets with different guys and doing what with where, and that doesn't look to be the case as Brown and Schultz are in the same main chat, and Rue and Fulks are in the Banjo Performance Center. So Fulk and Rue are able to converse with each other, and Brown and Schultz are able to converse with each other. So there's definitely some different strategies going on tonight.
You know the old saying goes, if you hear banjos, drive faster.
Actually, that Banjo Performance Center, that's actually a nod to the longtime NASCAR crew chief, Banjo Matthews.
I know, I was just making a deliverance joke.
Yeah, but we're in Michigan, bud, not in...
wherever that was set.
south of the Mason-Dixon line. We are north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yep. As they come through the tri-oval again, we're going to be 25 laps to go as they come to the line. Randall Fulks, like we've said before, has led the most laps here tonight. We've had 3 cautions here. Very impressive run by these guys as we've only had 1 retirement here tonight. That's John Schultz. Had a spin that's kind of put him out of contention here as Russell Caney had a tyre blowout. He's a lap down after getting some fresh tyres on that thing. Surprised he didn't do any more damage than what he did because he was still going full speed as we got Corey Brown now to the outside of Nathan Rue once again. But Rue still got that better speed on the outside line, and that kind of surprises me because as the race goes on, that outside line seems to come in a lot better than the lower line, but Rue's still able to hold it down there, Tony.
Rue is still able to hold it down there. He's probably got something a little bit different in his car. And you know what I'm thinking might be going on? They pit just before lap 45?
Something like that. During the last caution, I know that much.
Seth Schultz might be going into fuel conservation mode. He might be trying to stretch this tank of fuel till the end, if the tires will hold up.
I mean, we saw them do that before. We saw them do it. I think it was Daytona they did it with the fuel saving. So
yeah,
and they managed to make it to the end. So
that would explain why Schultz has dropped off as much as he has, because that's not normal for him to be dropping off like he is. I dare say he's gone into to conservation mode, and he's trying to stretch that tank of fuel.
Mr. Jennings in pit road for a pit stop here. I believe green flag pit stops might be starting right now as Jennings makes his way out of pit road. We'll see if any more come down, but I'm pretty sure you might be right there, Tony. Schultz might be saving those tyres, just trying to stay out of the thick of it. As here comes Corey Brown now to the inside of Nathan Root. Takes away second place. Big bubble there, and almost lost the back end. Great save by Corey Brown. And Root just having to back up to avoid him. That's let Folks get away. And here comes Seth Schultz now, trying to capitalise on that. And Schultz will probably move up to second place here, and he does. So big moment there for Corey Brown. Might have cost both him and Nathan Rue a chance of a win here.
Well, I dare say that Nathan Rue is going to need a new fire suit before this race is over. Because you can see your whole race flash in front of your eyes, as you're well aware, Sam.
Yeah.
Something similar to that happened to you last night.
Well, no, I didn't get a chance. All I did was, well, when I was trying to save it from after I hit that bump out of turn 2 and I managed to get it locked down, I thought, yeah, I'm going to survive this, and then boom.
Arca!
Yeah. By a teammate, nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 teammates if you include Ronnie.
Well, yeah. But meanwhile, Randall Folks has got to be loving this. He is now a second and a half to the good.
Corey Brown in pit road. Corey Brown, those tyres must have been going off then if he's bringing it down this soon, unless he's blown a tyre. And that car's behaving like it has, actually.
Left front.
Yeah.
Left front is completely flat.
So Corey Brown probably not going to repeat the win he got last week. And if things stay the same, looks like we could be looking at our 4th different winner here tonight, as Schultz and Rue are fighting it out between themselves. And what you were erring about?
He only took rights, and I saw the left front down. Okay. That's kind of wild.
I'm just going to go on a... No, it doesn't sound like he's got a flat now. So I don't know what the hell that was about.
Okay. Fair enough. So he does stay on the lead lap for now, but the question is, does him going into pit road trigger everyone else to start wholesale pit stops?
Well, it doesn't trigger Folks, Rue or Schultz at the moment. Bennett staying out as well. And Bennett in a massive battle with Chuck Sweeting right now. These guys have been going at it all race long. And now this has turned into a battle for 4th place other than 5th place until they do make the pit stops. We've got 18 laps to go. And we're going to have somebody try and make it to the end here as Gil Gork makes his way out of pit road. So we do have people bringing it down now, but we're always going to get that one person that tries to make it to the end, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you kind of have to. You've got to try something different. You know, because it's the old saying goes, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes.
Yeah.
You've got to try it. And we're early enough in the season where you can try some different strategies if they're going to work. So if we move later into the season, when we get really into the thick of it, and you need to figure out, how can I make up points this week? Okay, we did this last time and it worked. Or we did this last time and it didn't work. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, remember, we go to 10 rounds this season. Then we take a week off and then we begin the second half of the season. In mid-August, I think. Somewhere around there. Or September, I don't know. I'm losing track of months. Yeah. So we're already about midway through the season, through the first part of the season, so people are just getting settled in right now. They're going to obviously, like I said, have that week off and then come back at it again, and then they're going to probably have a new perspective, but they're going to have a Season 1 champion, a Season 2 champion, and at the end of Season 2 they're going to have an overall champion, so Doesn't make it confusing at all. But yeah.
So if an Eskimo hands you 5 ice cream cones and 4 seals, how many silver dollar pancakes does it take to shingle your roof?
Now you really have confused me.
Motorcycles don't have doors. I'm sorry, that was Common Core math.
I kind of failed Common Core math, and yeah, I work in a supermarket. And then I go,
Oh, Sam, no,
yeah.
Common Core is what they're teaching the kids around the U.S. now.
yeah.
And are you seeing what I'm seeing? There it is.
What?
Mick Jennings just went for slide for life across the grass.
Take a look back at that one as he looked like he was about to be lapped by. He'd already been lapped by Randall Fox and then Nathan Rue and Schultz behind him. So the back end starting to step out through turns 3 and 4. And oh, he smacked the wall hard again out of turn 4. Just went around and tried to rescue the car, but the wall was a bit too close.
Yeah, and then just, you know, headlong into the road separating wall.
Looking at the battle for P4 right now, still between Chuck Sweeting and Brian Bennett. They've got to be loving this battle. They've just been at it for so long now. For 88 laps they've been going at it. And they've been keeping it clean the whole time. I've got to give tip my hat to them, because they've been keeping this battle nice and clean between the two of them. Switching places every now and then. At the moment, it's Chuck Sweeting in the catbird seat for that 4th spot. But yeah, I'm quite impressed by this battle that Sweeting and Bennett are having tonight.
Oh, absolutely, and no, you're not partial at all, considering that might be related to the driver of the number 3. But no, these guys have shown a lot of respect. Long started next to each other, started near each other in 4th and 5th, and they have run 4th and 5th all night long.
I'm not related to the 3.
You're not related to the Bennett driving the 3?
No.
Okay. Say so.
Might be distant relatives, I don't know.
I'm saying, and check that family tree. But anyways, yeah, definitely a great battle going on there. As you know, the rest of the field kind of getting strung out right now. You're seeing guys that are trying to get their tires to last, guys that have already been down pit road trying to get their lap back. I mean, this has been an impressive race as we are 10 laps to go. Randall Falk continuing to show the way. Nathan Rue currently sitting in second, about a second to the good over Seth Schultz.
Yeah, and Corey Brown, after his pit stop, still able to keep it on that lead lap. Still does not look comfortable with that car, though, since that half spin he had earlier.
Oh, there it is.
And there's the caution. And it's Russell Caney, his night going from bad to worse, and that might be a race-ending moment there for himself. We're going to go back about 30 seconds to see what happened there. He was side by side with Gwyn Havens as he fires it off into turn 1, and it looks like he's going to drift up. Yeah, into the wall. The car's going to go right around, and he's going to reverse it into the outside wall again, or almost into the outside wall, and that was enough to bring out the caution. That his car coming back on the track right in front of Gil Gork, and Gork will not have been happy to see that happen. But that is going to shake things up slightly. Bolt's going to have to surrender that big lead he had, and it might actually work out for Corey Brown as well, because he managed to stay on the lead lap when that caution came out.
That is going to let him stay on the lead lap. But the big question right now is who's going to pit, who's not going to pit.
Oh, everybody's coming in.
Just about everybody's coming in. They were asking if there were wave rounds. No, I'm sorry that those didn't happen until the early 2000s. If you want to get waved around, you've got to stay out and not pit. So...
Yeah, it didn't happen until the early 2000s when Brian France decided to take pity on everybody. Hi, France family.
Yeah, something like that.
You get hate
Corey
mail
Brown
coming.
is coming in this time, so yeah, everybody back on the same pit strategy.
Except for Jeremy Johnston, who stayed out.
Johnson trying to get his lap back, I believe. No, he stayed out. Like,
Yeah.
stayed out.
Yeah. As Gilgork does get a wave around. Not really sure what that's about. Huh? Because Gork went a lap down after going into pit road and then somehow got waved around again, but it's at lead management's discretion, so, you know. While we're under caution here, I apologise, I forgot to mention them, but I'm going to mention them now, because I'm a naughty boy. This league sponsored by Summit Sim Racing. Make sure you check them out and see what they have on offer. Very happy to have them along this season, for this season, and for the next season coming up in the near future, and happy to have them on the channel. So if you want to check out Summit Sim Racing, there's the logo on the screen, bottom left hand corner. Summit Sim Racing, league sponsors of the Die Hard Racing League. As we're seeing Jeremy Johnson bring his car down to pit road here, Tony. He did just want to get that lap led, and I don't think he got it.
I'm showing no.
No, he didn't get it. That's going to hand the lead back to Randall Fox. And now, with the lights off on the pace truck here, Tony, this is pretty much going to be a sprint race to the checker flag now.
Yeah, it's time to put him up on the dash and either bring me the trophy or bring me the steering wheel. I don't care which. We're either going to celebrate in Victor Lane or we're piecing the car back on the hauler.
Yeah. Or just take the Ryan Newman philosophy on things, but that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Bring me the winner or just leave me on my roof. Anyway.
Too soon, bud. Too soon.
Hey, he's alright now. He's back in the car. He's fine. Anyway. They do have...
lights out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck is getting ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Randall Falk, Nathan Rue, Seth Schultz, Jeremy Johnson, Chuck Sweeting, your top 5 as pace truck is in. Falk holding him down, finally pulls the trigger. We are underway. As Chuck Sweeting giving Seth Schultz a shot. It wasn't going, and Chuck's going, come on, dude.
Schultz asleep at the switch there as Falk's out to a half a second lead, but how many times have we seen that in the past, and they've reeled him back in pretty quickly. Got a battle there between Brian Bennett and Brian Tate right behind him. Battle of the Bryans right there for P6. Mark Agabroad making his way up to the top 5 now. Good position for him in the 0-5 Lipton machine, moving his way forward. I did want to mention before we went back to green here, they do the only thing they don't do traditionally, the only thing they do in this series that they didn't do back then is overtime. So we will have green white checkers if there is another caution before this is over.
Yeah, that was the one thing that everybody hated back then. It was like, oh man, you're going to end under caution. And nobody showed their disapproval more than the fans at Pocono one year when they just threw everything that they had, including coolers, at Jeff Gordon after he won a caution-ending race.
Anyway, let's focus in on the battle for second place here. Seth Schultz trying to work that outside line on Nathan Rue as they made their way through 3 and 4. Chuck Sweeting trying to throw his hat into the ring as well, as this battle for second place is helping Randall Fox get away as we're coming to 5 laps to go here, Tony. It's coming down to it, and it's looking like a pretty easy run to the checkered flag for Randall Fox, but look at this battle for second place right now.
Oh, this battle for second, we've been waiting for this all night long. The two guys who, they normally are running up into the front, and they've been battling with each other cleanly but strongly all night. Rue and Schultz, there's not a lot of love lost between those guys, but there is a lot of respect between them. The Blue Oval Bunch represented by Schultz, the Bowtie Brigade with Nathan Rue, and if you're Chuck Sweeting right now, you're looking at this going, I got a good points night going. You guys go ahead and just wreck each other. I'm just gonna hang.
Are you sure about that? Because Sweeting looked like he was trying to make a move on Rue then.
He was thinking about it, because he had the run, he had the draft. But if you're Chuck Sweeting, you got to be thinking, I'm coming out of here with a good points night. Turcott's had nothing but problems. Brown is behind me, so get the points, get out of here, and we're moving on to the next one.
Absolutely. As we come to 3 laps to go now, Folks has a 1.1 second lead over Seth Schultz, who looks like he might have locked in that second place. But for now, Nathan Rue under big pressure though from Chuck Sweeting, and Sweeting is holding station as Rue gets it all wrong through turns 1 and 2, and so does Sweeting. Both of them
trying to stay off of Rue.
Yeah. Oh my God. So that really has locked in second place for Seth Schultz now, as he's just going to carry on his merry way. But Rue, that backhand, not really happy there as here comes Sweeting down to the inside of the 25. Has a look, but not quite close enough behind them. We've got a battle between Bennett and Igerbroad here. Bennett up to 4th place now. 5th place, sorry. Brian Tate right behind them. Gwyn Haven's having a fantastic night here tonight in P8. P9 is Tim Marlowe. Corey Brown only just holding on to that last spot in the top 10. As here comes James Collins to his outside. We're going to go back to the lead battle now as Randall Folks sailing away in the lead. Seth Schultz in second place. Nathan Rue still under big pressure from Chuck Sweeting. But look at this battle for P5 right now. Here comes Mark Igerbroad to the inside of Brian Bennett into turn 3. Great pass there by the 05 on the Wrangler machine.
Absolutely. Is that Lipton Ice Tea 05 had a great run coming off of 2 and just made it happen, hauling off into turn number 3. Meanwhile, back up in front, white flag in the air one more time around. 10 Sweeting get by Rue.
That's the big question here, as Randall Folks is going to lead them down towards the checkered flag here. Sweeting is all over the back of Nathan Rue. He's only got one more chance to get around him as they come flying off towards turn 3. Is he going to dive it in there? The death is not going to.
Not close enough.
Not nowhere near close enough, as it looks like Randall Folks is going to come out of turn 4 here now. And we're going to have our 4th different winner in this series so far, as Randall Folks has led from the green flag to the checker flag and wins here at Michigan. 2nd will go to Seth Schultz, 3rd to Nathan Rue, 4th place going to Chuck Sweeting, 5th to Brian Bennett. Brian Tate comes on in 6th place. What happened to Mark Igerbroad? Igerbroad wrecking at the line there. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Igerbroad here. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be happy with the way things ended here. He got a bit of a slide coming out of turn 4. And, Bennett got into the side of him. Bennett got loose on the outside line there, got into the side of Igerbroad, and Igerbroad is not going to be happy with that at all. But anyway...
yeah, as a matter of fact, he actually is listed as retired.
Yeah. So... there is your race winner. That is Randall Folks. 2nd place going to Seth Schultz there. There is Nathan Rue in 3rd place. As we are going to get the driver interviews underway now, and we are going to reach out to the man that finished in 3rd place first. So let's grab him right now and bring him in. And Nathan Rue joining me in the booth there. 3rd place on the night, Nathan, but you had to work for it there.
Yeah, good racing there. I got to thank Randall. You come over to the shop, turn some wrenches. We found some speed in this car again. We lost it there for a few weeks, but good run there. I hate that late caution come out, man, because we were just so good on a long run. And But you have that, but just can't be happy enough to have the speed we had in the car tonight and just come back with a good finish.
Yeah, big improvement over last week. Obviously, you had that early retirement, unfortunately, but definitely going to give you a lot more confidence after such a poor week last week.
Yeah, with the build come out, we lost this a little bit there after Daytona. We had worked on some things that felt good, and that build kind of changed it up. We lost the car a little bit, but all the guys at Summit, we all worked on it real hard. Randall helped out. We found some things, and I think we found the speed back we need, and we'll go from here and try to keep the momentum going again.
Absolutely, and the momentum shifts over to Darlington next week. 110 laps around there, around the Lady in Black. What's your thoughts around there?
Oh, I can't wait to get there. That's just going to be a fun track with these cars. I mean, you're really going to have to, drive the track. You don't worry about anybody else. You don't worry about anybody else's lap speeds there. You just get a car under you and drive the track, and you race her the way she's supposed to be raced, and, hopefully you can dance with her and she won't crush you. So.
All right, Nathan. Well, congratulations on the third place there. Got to be happy after this result here tonight, especially after last week. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before I let you go and celebrate?
Yeah, all the guys at Summit Sim Racing, everybody that comes out here, everybody that puts it on, Seth, everybody that helps out. You guys for broadcasting ESPN, y'all do a fantastic job. Just a great thing to be a part of. So thank you, everybody, and I appreciate it.
All right, that's Nathan Rue in the number 25 Folgers machine coming home in third place. Congratulations one more time. We'll see you at Darlington.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Nathan Rue joining us in the booth. Joining us now will be our second place finisher, Mr. Seth Schultz. Tony, I believe you have him there with you now.
Seth Schultz, the only Ford in a sea of Chevys up in the front all night long. Congratulations on the podium tonight. I know it's not the finish you were hoping for, but all things considered, you got to be happy with the points finish tonight, sir.
Oh, that's what it's ultimately about. I mean, Nathan and Randall and even Corey, I mean, they were fast, and we made a bad change there on the second stop, which just killed the car. And then when we got that late race caution, we went in and fixed it, and then we were able to get back up there. But we needed to be in front of the 25 for the restart, and yeah, so you get two teammates in front of you, it ain't going to be easy to pass, which is fine. It was fun racing like that.
Absolutely. So before that caution came out, we were speculating that you might have gone into fuel conservation mode to try to make it the rest of the way without pitting. Did that thought even cross your mind at any point?
Nope. I had enough to make it, just barely, but I had enough. It was wondering whether or not the tires were going to make it. And when I saw the percentage after we pitted, I would have made it on tires, but it would have been close probably.
Fair enough. But you were able to salvage a podium tonight. Talk us through your thoughts going into Darlington next week.
Is it Darlington or is it North Wilkesboro?
Darlington.
Okay. Darlington, probably going to get the stripe. But I don't know. I haven't even took the cars theirs yet. Yeah, I haven't taken this car there yet. So that's what we'll be doing all this coming week, is working on Darlington.
Well, fair enough. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank all the league members that showed up tonight. Thanks for the guys up front that I was racing around for racing clean and hard, and it was fun battling. I loved it.
Now, Seth, before we do let you go, considering you are the cook and bottle washer here in the Die Hard Racing League, if somebody wants to get involved in the league, how would they go about doing so?
They could go to www.dhrlleague.com, and they go to the Grand National Series page. There's a link there that they can click on, take them right to the league page in iRacing, and as long as they meet the minimum requirements, they'll be able to join up, sign up.
All right, and we will post that link in the video description after the video is done posting to Facebook after the stream is over tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, Summit, for the sponsoring the series as well.
All right. Seth, again, congratulations. We'll see you next week at Darlington.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
So that was Seth Schultz joining us in the booth. Now let's go to the man of the moment there now, Mr. Randall Folks, coming home with his first victory of the season. Randall, you put in one hell of a lap time to get the pole here, but you did not look back from that point onwards. You traded places a couple of times, but you ultimately dominated here tonight. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, extremely happy with that. We had a very good car. We were hoping for long runs, and we got some decent runs in, but I felt like we had a pretty good long run car there, and I think it showed a little bit.
Show it did. I mean, we weren't expecting you to put that qualifying lap in, to be honest. I mean, it just basically came out of nowhere. Did you find something in that car in qualifying, or did you feel confident that the car was going to get up there anyway?
I think it was a little bit of both. Nathan and I went to work trying to find a little bit of speed, and we found it practicing. So I think we expected to be up front, but we didn't really know where everybody else was at, and we didn't know what to turn. So I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, and it helped you in the race as well. Came home with the victory here tonight. Become the season's fourth different winner here tonight. Really going to help you out with the points there. Got to be feeling confident when we go into Darlington next week.
Yeah, I hope to get to Darlington too. I've missed a few weeks here and there, and with work getting in late. So I hope to be at Darlington. I hope we can take some of this speed to Darlington and maybe get another one there.
Absolutely. And what are your thoughts about Darlington? I know it's not going to be the easiest track around there. There's only really one groove up there. What's your thoughts up there?
It's one of my favorite tracks. I think it's going to be tough for sure. One of the hardest places to drive, even with slot cars we have sometimes there. But with this thing, it's going to be a handful. I bet. Looking for a few guys to be fast there too, and hopefully put on a real good show.
All right, Randall. Well, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thanks to before I let you go and celebrate your win?
Yeah, I'm gonna thank all the guys over at Summit Sim Racing, Nathan, Brian, Mark, Tim, just everybody that comes along and gets a chance to help us out. And I know Bennett got into Mark there at the end, and might have to call a team meeting this week and see what went on there. But thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks Seth for the league, and it was a really good race tonight. Everybody was pretty clean.
All right, well, Randall Folks in the number 51 Exxon machine, very well done. Congratulations on what seems to have been a dominant night here for you tonight. Well done one more time, and we'll see you next week when we head to the Lady in Black.
Thanks, guys.
So that was our race winner, Mr. Randall Folks, and what a race we've seen here tonight. Lots of action around the track, and definitely well-deserved win there for the man that surprised us all, if I'm honest, by getting that pole position away from everybody else. Tony, what are your thoughts on the race?
I don't think we could have scripted a better race if we were writing a movie about it. We saw just action all through the field all night long. You had the top four that they were kind of in a league of their own for most of the night. And then you had 5th through 10th just slugging it out. And then you had the rest of the field slugging it out behind them. And, something you don't see too often, if you take a look at your top 5 finishing order, that's exactly how they started.
It is. It's not very often you see things like that, but it's very unusual, but it happens, and that is exactly how it finished. And I got to say, if we're 4 races deep already, if 5 if you include the shootout at the beginning, we've had nothing but exciting racing so far. And if that's anything to go by, then Darlington, and then the week after that we go to our first road course of the season when we head to Watkins Glen. It's just going to get even better.
Well, the thing you got to remember too, Sam, is these cars are what I grew up on. I was a kid of the 80s. This is the NASCAR I remember. and it's so much fun to watch these cars back out on the track. And again, Tim, if you're listening, please have the Oldsmobile and the Buick. Please. Preferably, if I have to choose between one, give us Buick first.
Oldsmobile, yeah, that was a classic.
I want the Buick Regal.
Did they have the Pontiac as well? No?
There was a Pontiac Grand Prix at this time.
Yeah.
The Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme and the Buick Regal.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the Regal because that one looked a lot different compared to the other cars. It looked a lot more like it shouldn't be there, but it was fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm so waiting for them to say, "Hey, we're giving you the Buick." And like, oh, it was like when they made the announcement they were giving us.
Anyway, on that bombshell, let's go straight to the results of the race, shall we? As we get ready to get on out of here, as it's really getting exciting this season, so you make sure you check us out as the season goes by. But anyway, let's go for the results here. Let's go from 1st to 10th. Randall Folks dominating this event here today, coming home with the win, just under a second ahead of Seth Schultz, who came home in second place. Nathan Rue rounds out your top 3. Chuck Sweeting in P4, and Brian Bennett rounds out your top 5. In P6 was Brian Tate. 7th going to Gwyn Havens, a big improvement on his race last week. Mark Eichenbrod wrecked at the line. He has to settle for P8. 9th going to Tim Marlowe. And Corey Brown, after that late pit stop, being caught out with the pit stops there, having to settle there for P10, Tony.
James Collins coming home in 11th. 12th going to Brad Spittle. Alan Pajari, not the night he was hoping for, finishing in 13th. Gil Gulk in 14th. And Jeremy Johnson in 15th. 16th going to Marcus Wilkie. Bruce Pearson in 17th, 1 lap down. Devin Turka, you're coming in your points leader, finishing 1 lap down in 18th. Vic Jennings in 19th, Russell Caney in 20th, and Alan Schultz, the first one to put it on the hauler tonight, in 21st.
That is going to do it for us here tonight. Great race we've seen out on the track, and definitely going to be looking forward to seeing what they have to offer when we head to the Lady in Black next week, so make sure you check that one out next week. Coming up on the schedule, we do have some more racing coming this Saturday, where we have no, we don't. Never mind. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later. But Monday we don't have anything. But next Tuesday we don't have anything. But next broadcast that you'll see either myself or
we have races next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we've got dirt racing next Tuesday, and then Top Fuel returns at Phoenix next Wednesday. So make sure you tune in for that one. But for now, from myself, Sam Kivinet, from Tony Trapasso, all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, and we will see you next time here on ESPN. Have a fantastic night.
Good night, everybody.
Also, a big shout out to Summit Sim Racing as well. Sorry for not mentioning those guys. I apologise. Yeah, if you want to check out Summit Sim Racing, make sure you visit them and see what they have on offer. But for now, take it easy, guys.